Here we are.
Oh, goodness gracious.
There's no box score, right?
There is on ESPN.
It kept loading and then like not loading. It like took it away from me.
It was there because I had to look up who Hill was about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's currently not there. They kept
really?
changing. Yeah, they kept changing the score, and it was like in the fourth quarter, and it was updated until like the early third. Like it was as if there was some sort of lag.
Huh. Weird.
Very
Not there
bizarre.
for me now. The Apple Sports app was really behind for whatever reason, which is uncommon. Normally that app's pretty good.
Huh.
Spike, in your box score, what does it say the Sixers? How many points does it say the Sixers have?
Hold on. I have to go back to it. Maybe it's not there anymore.
I usually screenshot it just in case. But yeah, it's definitely not currently on the site.
Yeah, because that was how I got who Hill was. Oh yeah, it's gone. It was up there a half an hour ago. That's wild.
Yeah, it's gone up and down, and it was delayed, and it was not good. Which is always just like, this is why I am skeptical of all new technology. It's like you can't even send a box score, like the box score can't fucking load.
This is that Louis C.K. bit about Wi-Fi on a plane. I don't know if you've ever seen that. He's just talking about how amazing technology is, but how spoiled we get by it. So much so that if the Wi-Fi on the plane, which is, if somebody had told you about it 20 years ago, would have seemed completely impossible. The minute that it isn't exactly how you want it to be, you're like, what the fuck? This all sucks.
Well, it is very silly. The idea that we're flying in the air.
Yes. What is it connecting to?
In my house, we have Wi-Fi.
Yes.
So you're telling me that in the thing that can fly through the air,
but you understand that your house has Wi-Fi, but the Wi-Fi is connected to the ground. Like it's distributing the Wi-Fi in your house.
But then but the plane is to me, it's just like a superior engineering feat. And the thing that they go like, don't have Wi-Fi, and it's like, fucking, they have Wi-Fi like at McDonald's. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but the McDonald's is connected to the ground, and the Wi-Fi.
But they got to figure that stuff out. It's inexcusable. I think they're just used to people being like, yeah, sometimes it goes in and out, but we're gonna charge you like $40 for the flight or whatever the fuck.
Are we ready to go? That's a good conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory, Mike. I get that.
They're trying to wring more money out of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we'll take you from one coast to the other, but it's going to cost more if you want to like check your email. Like,
yes.
Come on,
$20. Well, it's like, what is it? $9 if you want it for an hour.
For an hour. Oh yeah, what a steal.
Yeah.
Rush.
The rights to Ricky. Oh wait, hold on. Let's spin that back for a second. On the show today, the Sixers play the Knicks again in Abu Dhabi. This time at 11 a.m. on Saturday afternoon. And it is the one sporting event in Philadelphia this weekend that people care about the most. Also, some weak-ass podcasters for an NFL team quit because the team's not good enough. Cowards. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is presented by Draftkings Sportsbook. Sign up for Draftkings Sportsbook by using promo code RTRS. And brought to you by Ethos Support. Your customer support should not suck. Oh my God, it can't. Ethos Support can help. Go to ethosupport.com/Ricky. MortgageCS, become a MortgageCS Ricky VIP at mortgagecs.com/Ricky. Barker Therapeutic Dog Beds. Get yours at barkerbeds.com/Ricky. And Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka, the official canned cocktail of the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast. You only have to hear about me asking you for money for one more week for Bark in the Park. We've raised $15,888. to $20,000 is the goal. The event is next Saturday at Rose Tree Park. Even if you're not on the team, you can stop by, see all the dogs, all that sort of stuff. We would love your donation. Really, all we need is $150 donations, and then we'll get past the goal. So if you have $50, that's all I'm asking. $150. $150 donations. The link is in the description of this pod. Thank you to our sponsors, MortgageCS, LL Pavorsky Jewelers, Scheib Vintage Sports, Surfside, and Barker Therapeutic Dog Beds. If you want to go to New Orleans with us for Fly the Process with us and fans of Philly, all of the details are at rightstoRickySanchez.com/fly. You can reserve your spot for just $150 and then pay it off over time. And Surfside, iced tea and vodka. The playoffs start later on today. Phils Dodgers, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people will be anxiously watching a game with a Surfside in their hands. I was at a Stateside Live for the first time yesterday as under the new name, Stateside Live. I was so proud. I was like, look at what they did. Look at what they did. And it was wild to be in there and think that Stateside has their name on the place where we raised the Hinkie banner years ago. In any case, back to Surfside. It's only got 2 grams of sugar. It's only got 100 calories. It doesn't have any bubbles. None of the flavors have bubbles. You can get it wherever you get your canned cocktails, or just go to drinksurfside.com, have it shipped to you. Maybe you got to be 21. Please enjoy it responsibly. Without any further ado, Amos and the chef.
We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We was right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We were right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. Say the name.
Welcome to the Rights Ricky Sanchez podcast. I'm Spike Eskin, along with a guy who lives in a 2-team household, Phillies and Dodgers. That is one Mike Levin.
Well, the old superstars are hurt. A young prospect is hurt. We got an ugly contract dispute. They're supporting a regime with human rights abuses. And they're over the season so far. It's Sixers basketball, baby.
We're back. We're here.
So back.
Yes. Who's that guy? I was playing around with who's that guy on the Sixers today when a guy named Hill shot a 3-pointer. I was like, I don't know who the fuck that guy is.
Malcolm Hill got him on Exhibit 10, played a couple years at Illinois, 29 or 30. We actually have the same birthday, which is kind of nice. I checked out.
What was he doing for the last 6 years? I saw he only played.
He's been in the G League some. He's been playing overseas. Like he's a good shooter. Like kind of a 3-and-D, but looks a little bit like any type of like random 3-and-D guy. You're like, just do Danny Green stuff, but everybody else wants to do a little bit more in between stuff. Yeah. But he was hitting shots. If he hit that baseline layup off the cut, then it could have been a game. It could have gotten close to winning that game, but poor Malcolm Hill didn't get to finish. But he had a nice couple moments. Show me something. We'll see what happens.
Mike, explain to me again why Kennedy Chandler can't play in the NBA.
He can't shoot.
Oh, that's what I'm not seeing. Right, because he can get to he's got a good handle, can get to the rim, good passer, all that stuff. Can't shoot. It's Smith disease.
He's small and can't shoot.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know he couldn't shoot, and by him not shooting, that's why I didn't notice. That's why he's not taking jumpers. Okay, got it. That makes a lot of sense. I want to, if we could, not start on Edgecombe, if we could start on the 2 power forwards on the team that I think have been interesting in these first 2 games.
Great.
And that is Dominic Barlow and Jabari Walker, right? Yeah. Very different players. I made the mistake of looking up Dominic Barlow's 3-point shooting history.
That is a mistake, yeah.
Yeah, and, he doesn't shoot many of them, and when he does, he doesn't make many of them. He did look pretty comfortable taking 2 in the corner today. One ended up being a 2. It wasn't a 3, but it was right there. It probably just had his foot on the line. Mm-hmm. Took another one. I continued to be interested by these 2 guys, specifically because the Sixers don't have a locked-in player at that position, at power forward, and they're both really different players, but both have pretty interesting skill sets. Very different, but both interesting skill sets, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bummer that Trendon Watford has not been healthy with a hamstring situation, because he would be in this conversation as well. The only one that's on a standard deal. Both Barlow and Jabari are on 2 ways for the Sixers. But Barlow looked good, man. He started both games. He took 3 shots from the corner, like you said. One was on the line. He hit 2 of them. The shot looks easy. It doesn't look like it goes up easy. It's the kind of shot that if he was on another team, you'd be like, why wouldn't that go in 34% of the time and be totally fine.
Yep.
But he's athletic, he's agile, he moves well, he rebounds, he plays hard. He was on I think it was on G League Ignite or one of those type teams, maybe Overtime Elite, one of those. He's from Jersey. I thought it looked good. I thought, whether it's if it's Bona, they're just going to, as the backup center, they're going to struggle to rebound and protect the rim with him out there. So you kind of want an additional legitimate big to be back there to either protect the rim or rebound or just be physical and switchable and stuff. And Barlow is very fluid as an athlete and a mover. I thought he passed pretty well. But yeah, like you said, there's not a track record of him hitting threes at any legitimate rate. But the talk about him in camp is that he's looked good, and he looked good in these 2 games. And that's nice. I tended to be more excited about Jabari as a signing when they got him at the two-way level. Because I think he's a more like what's his number one NBA skill? It's rebounding, it's defensive rebounding, and he's strong as shit. It's Samaki Walker's kid for all the people who remember older Samaki Walker on the Lakers in those early 2000s Lakers teams, late 90s.
And by the way, not just strong, seems to really use his strength, right?
Yeah.
Especially offensively, the sort of Julius Randle-ish, throw your shoulder in the guy and push him back.
Yeah,
he's really strong and really knows how to use it.
Yeah, comfortable on drives, wedged his way in for a few buckets, had a nice little drive and dump off to Drummond for a layup, which was nice. He's strong on defense as well. He had defended a Clarkson dribble drive, then blocked the shot on it. They called it a foul, which I thought was a bad call. But sometimes he's not gifted athletically, so occasionally he will get a little tripped up trying to keep up with faster guys and stuff. Stumbled a few more times than I would have expected. But similar to Barlow, it's like you just got to be able to just hit threes off the catch. And it seemed like Jabari was much more happy attacking soft closeouts than just rising up and hitting those sort of Covington-esque catch and shoot threes. Like that's what you need him to do. So yeah, but there's a reason why both guys are available on the two-way, but I think they could be useful. And I think as far as churning through options go to see who pops, I think Nurse will have them plus Watford will give Nick some optionality as to who gets some rotation minutes at the 4.
Yeah, it makes me excited to see Watford play, actually, given what his particular skill set is, you know, and how happy Maxey was the one that's happy he's there. Right?
Yeah, they're friends.
Yeah. But it's like this. You are one to say that this is what two-way should be for, right? And the last roster spot to just sort of churn through guys like this and see, especially at positions of need, which is that this is their one position of need. And I guess credit to them for using two ways on these two guys and signing Watford and just sort of throwing stuff at the wall and hoping that something sticks at that position, because you never know what you could find that way.
Yeah, you can add Broom to that. I mean, I think he hit a couple shots, a couple lefty hooks in the paint.
It wasn't as bad as the first game was.
It wasn't as bad, but he's also not doing that much. It's a shame because he sees the game well on both ends. You can see him. I like his defensive rotations. He gets his hands in there, had a block or a steal or two. It's going to be the athleticism and the quickness, and can he hit outside shots? And he didn't. I don't think he took any in this one. There's not a box score available because they don't make those available. Maybe the game was too ugly for them to do a box score. But I think the Sixers considered, hey, maybe Janai Broom played a lot of college basketball, was second in Player of the Year to Cooper Flagg. Maybe he pops and is more ready than we expected, and he's just not. It's sad. I'm gonna adopt this exact tone every time I talk about him, where it's just like he's just not that athletic, and that you do require some level of athleticism in the NBA, and he doesn't have it.
Or by the way, be insanely skilled, one of the two, but it doesn't seem like it's either one. It's not like he's an awesome shooter or a super slick passer or any of those sorts of things.
You need him to be like Boris Diaw, Kyle Anderson type, and he's just closer to the sort of like old man game at the Y, like everybody just wait while he sort of wedges inside and spins both ways and slowly gets to his spot. and it's not great. It's not great. But the Watford stuff we mentioned opens the door to some interesting things that they've been using Maxey on, which we will talk about after this.
The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast, what a pro you are, is presented by Draftkings Sportsbook. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. The Eagles game tomorrow jumped from -3.5 to -4.5. It was kind of weird. It was kind of weird, especially with all the questions this week on the Eagles offense. I thought it was strange that it jumped that way. It was interesting because when it came out, I thought it was a little low. It felt like it should be 4.5 or 5. I don't know, whatever. Maybe other people felt that. That's why they bet it. Speaking of betting touchdowns, Jalen and Saquon both -150 for an anytime touchdown. A.J. Brown +190. I don't know, tempting fate maybe by betting an A.J. Brown touchdown at this point.
Pats
plus 1,000.
Really good. I did just buy low on A.J. Brown from my nephew in fantasy basketball.
So. Wait a minute. How old is your nephew? Are you taking advantage of somebody?
No, he's almost 17.
Okay. All right. Yeah. A lot of disappointed A.J. Brown fantasy owners at this point. By the way, A.J. Brown, let's see, what is he at receiving yards? Over under is 60. He's averaging 37.8. Now
feels like under against the Broncos with their great secondary.
But Denver plays a lot of man. Plays a lot of man. That's how A.J. Brown thrives. Anyway, you can bet all this stuff at DraftKings Sportsbook. Don't listen to us. We don't know what we're talking about. Maybe you know what you're talking about. Here's the best part. If it is the first time you're doing it, you best bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you get $200 in bonus bets instantly, only with our code RTRS. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code RTRS. That is RTRS. Turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Got to be 21. See show notes for details. By the way, before you get back to the game, a Ricky note. If you haven't noticed, the Danny is no longer writing for the Ricky. The Danny got a full-time job. Be honest with you. We don't even know what the Danny's full-time job is, but it is a full-time job. We wish him well. Nothing bad happened.
Is he being cagey about it?
No, honestly, he was. I don't want to talk about it too much because he seems like a private guy. But
okay.
But everything's fine. Nothing bad happened with the Danny. We didn't fire the Danny. Everything was fine. But anyway, we need a new writer. So we put this out on Twitter once, and we got a bunch of responses. If you are one of those responses, don't worry, we have it. But we are giving it 1 week. If you are interested in writing or some sort of weekly content for the Ricky, we'd prefer that you have some sort of experience doing so. Send an email to writesrickysanchez@gmail.com and andrew.underberger@gmail.com. Send some samples, send a resume if you have one, and you have until October 12th. That is when we want to get it all in by, so we can get it going hopefully by the beginning of the season. So if you would like to write for the Ricky and become one of our famous alumni like Sixers Adam or even Sixers Adam. Again, writes RickySanchez@gmail.com or Andrew.Underberger@gmail.com. All right, back to the game. What were you going to say about?
Well, we talked about it last game about how it felt like Maxey was playing off the ball a little bit more, and I said podcast, and I said how that's going to be useful with him playing with McCain, him playing with when PG is there, and
they did it more this game with,
and
Chandler.
They did it more this game off of Chandler, and I think that's a trend in Watford situation because Watford is a real grab and go off a defensive rebound type guy. He can operate in the middle of the floor. He's also physical and gets his body in there and is a good passer. And I'm excited to see some dribble handoffs with Maxey and Watford. I think that'll be good. The other Maxey thing, there were two Maxey points. One is that there was one play where he showed really great patience in the pick and roll. We kind of kept looking for it last year as he was the only guy out there for a while, and he had a really tough start to the season. He takes the pick and roll from Drummond. The roll man looks for the roll man, wasn't there. Looks for the corners. They stayed home. Wasn't anybody open in the corner. Then just sort of easily got into a little 14-foot step back. That's just mature stuff. That's not getting sped up. I liked seeing that. I think that him being a very versatile and going through his rotations, or like a quarterback would, going through his progressions in the pick and roll is going to make him a much more useful player. But I also do think off the ball, he's going to have to be useful, and that's where you can weaponize his outside shooting. The other point, this also comes with the off the ball stuff, is I don't think we talk enough about his ability to hit threes in transition from full speed.
Yes, that's sort of falling forward threes in transition. Yeah.
A really underrated part of his game. The defense is so worried about his drive because he's so fucking fast with the ball that they're backpedaling so much. Yeah. And Maxey being able to pull up and just hit those is such a weapon. That's a really, really tough shot to do that at full speed, and he's great at it. So he hit one or two of those in this game, which I liked.
The Maxey observation I had on this one, and maybe it's not new, I think it just hit me watching him, is that we all know the shooting was a weakness when he got here, and now it's a huge strength for him. But I think the thing that hit me today was just watching it. His first couple years, he really looked like he was heaving the ball. The reason that I had so much trouble buying into him being a good three-point shooter, even when they started going in, was it felt like it was taking so much effort to get the ball from the three-point line to the basket, and his mechanics didn't look that great to me. But he now, it looks so natural, it's so quick, and he's gotten so strong that he can shoot it from 5 feet beyond the line and do it quickly. I think at some point I might go back and watch some of his rookie highlights and then watch it now, because he, from a shooting standpoint, now to my eye, he looks like a killer shooter. And even when they were going in at first, that's why I had trouble buying it. But the improvement he's made as a shooter is really, really outrageous.
Yeah, gets good load, simplified everything. Reps make everything look consistent. He's just great shooter. And I thought he was really, in these two games in fucking the UAE with most of the rotation not there, I do think he looked pretty good. So happy to see that. We should talk about Edgecombe, who is the featured attraction out of this whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about Edgecombe. I think
he's such a good passer, man. These two games, if it has awakened one thing in watching him, it's just that he is a really good passer.
Yeah, you know? I think, he moves the ball so easily. I think he has, and I'm saying this in a positive way, role player instincts. Mm-hmm. Whereas you're going to watch Ace Bailey and being like, this guy might not even know he has teammates on the court. Or he's only passing out of a last resort. And VJ is he gets the ball out of his hands really quick with the right pass. The thing to notice that I was noticing in these games, and I'm interested to see if it carries over to the regular season when you play different teams, is that every time VJ even thought about driving, the Knicks defense was so mindful of his athleticism and his burst that they were already rotating over. And VJ from the jump is just willing to kick it out to the open guy. And that's really impressive for a guy this young. And it sort of jives with VJ hating college basketball because that space wasn't there.
Yeah.
For either the shooters or for him to get through. And I really like to see that. Huge dunk. Huge dunks.
Just a real quick thing on that before you get to the dunks was and I think this goes to the role player instincts thing. When I say good passer, I don't mean slick passes. He does those, but just moving the ball in the right way to the right spot at the right time and not thinking twice about it. And those are, I think, the role player instincts you're talking about. He is a good passer in both respects. I think as a creator, he's a good passer, but as a ball mover, he has been a really good passer as well.
Yeah. I think, the Knicks started in zone, which is not crazy because the Sixers shot, I think, 3 of 35 in the first game from outside. So why not try it? He gets a ball swung to him and he sees the hole like a wide receiver, like on a bubble screen, and just attacks the basket. And OG didn't get there fast enough. VJ with just such easy lift with a really nice dunk. I love half court dunks. Those are that feels like you're running really good offense if you're getting that. And the Knicks were like, okay, no more zone after that because VJ kept hitting the hole. His athleticism was on full display. There were 2 rebounds that he got fouled on, called for fouls on, just because of how high he jumped. Yeah. I think the refs were like, well, he must have been on somebody's back because he's so high up and somebody's so low. But he just flies. He volleyball blocked the Clarkson floater from behind. That was nasty.
That was
He had a
awesome, by the way.
baseline dunk off of Justin Edwards, backdoor pass. That was sick.
The Clarkson thing, I love blocks where the guy could have just taken the ball. I sort of thought VJ could have just caught the ball out of the air, but instead decided to volley it 15 feet behind him.
Yeah, in preseason, I'm happy for him to spike the fuck out of it, but maybe he goes like, oh, I can get to that in the regular season. Just goes like yoink.
Yeah.
I pointed this out in the last pod when the dunk isn't there for VJ, and this goes back to college as well. He has a tendency to go up without a plan.
Yeah.
And in this one, he tried a floater. It didn't go in, but I liked the attempt of like, there's one or two guys back and he just like got a little floater. Another time when he was attacking off of a closeout or off of a rotation, he sliced through the lane and Mikal kind of stayed with him, which, Edgecombe is not used to good defenders like that, with that kind of length and intuitiveness. And at that point, he got to the rim, and he seemed to try to like go up with two hands, but Mikal either blocked it or just affected it. And at that point, it would have been like using the left would have been the move there to either throw it down with the left or like a little layup on the reverse side. And so he's working on that. And the next step is to use that sort of balanced body control to draw fouls on those plays. Like Maxey struggled with that too, where it's like Maxey as a younger player was like, okay, floater, floater, floater. Okay, all the way to the rim, all the way to the rim. And then in the last year or two, it's been, the pejorative term is like foul grifting, but it's being a savvy veteran based on the way they're calling stuff. And so I think that VJ over time will get to that also, where he's like seeking out the contact and then, falling away from it and getting to the line with those. But I thought offensively he was really good. The outside shooting is obviously going to be the issue.
Dude, it's all over the place.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. So this is interesting.
Yeah.
Nick Nurse dials up a play from him on the first play where he takes a three against the zone.
I do like how willing he is to take it.
He steps into it so willing. He gets fouled on that shot. He had all three free throws. The only place, because I do think the game looks slow for him, which is rare for this athletic of a rookie. But I think the only place where the game looks fast for him right now is his outside shot. The windows are so tight that when he has to speed it up and get it up quick, he doesn't have the accuracy and the composure to do that. He needs to as a shooter, he needs time to like get into his low dip and see it and be balanced and rise up for it. And that'll just like come with reps and time. But when he has more time to get into his shot and get his arc right, the shot does look good. I think he hit 2 in this game. He hit 1 in the last one. The arc looks really, really solid and composed and comfortable. It's just a matter of like,
one thing they were working on. He said his shot in college was flat. He's even said that. And he's even saying that, looking at it, he can tell when it's right and when it's not right from an arc perspective. I think the thing I'm noticing looking at him too is he's so athletic, but he hasn't filled out his body at all.
No.
He's so young. I think that sometimes when you think defensively about the Jimmy Butler comparisons is when I start imagining VJ Edgecombe with his body filled out, or even Oladipo maybe might be a little bit more accurate from a body comp.
Yeah.
But when he gets stronger and fills out, he's not just going to be an athletic defender and quick. His frame, he looks like he's going to get really strong too. And I think it's just, I think the thing we will all have to probably remind ourselves of is still pretty raw. I think you can tell from a shooting perspective and all those sorts of things. And he is a young rookie, not super young rookie, but a young rookie on a team that's trying to compete, So it'll be, I think it'll probably be an up and down year, but I think all of the signs point to him being really, really good.
Yeah, but the handle looks good. I mean, the handle looks really, really solid and not like a weakness. It's just a matter of if he's going to take that next step and become a legitimate, like, oh, this guy is a number one option potentially. The handle's going to have to go far. But right now, it just seems like he's going to be a very, very, very above average role player with some potential for more. And I just want last thing I'll just say, I like seeing him next to Embiid on the bench talking to each other. I thought that was nice to see. Good to see Embiid engaging like that. They seem to be having a nice time, which obviously made me happy.
We have such a low bar for Joel.
That's right.
Like to see him talking to his teammates.
That's right. Well, the young ones.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm not countering it. I'm not debating it.
No, that's fair.
The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is brought to you by MortgageCS. Yet another email about MortgageCS. This came from Mark. Hi, Spike, Mike, CJ, Daryl, and Pablo. Long-time listener, first-time emailer. I have to share my experience with the team at MortgageCS. A few months back, I started a new job with a lengthy commute, and I sent Ben a text at 6:30 a.m. introducing myself and explaining that I would like to discuss the mortgage process with him whenever he was available. Within minutes, he responded. That same morning, we spent 40 minutes on the phone discussing the process. I was blown away by him making the time to hop on the phone so quickly and understanding my schedule. I could tell from the first few minutes of our conversation that everything was as advertised about MortgageCS. Fast forward a few months, many more conversations. We were finally able to close on our home in South Jersey. That is where the MortgageCS team really shined. Their attention to detail and professionalism was outstanding. As Ben walked me through the process step by step, Alec did an incredible job explaining the rates, buying, selling points, and providing context on the process. And ultimately, thanks to Alec, we saved a nice chunk of money based on the timing of locking in when we did, which was in large part due to his expertise. Finally, I want to point out that Ben was there in person on our closing date, which is not necessarily the norm. That is the kind of stuff you get from MortgageCS. It is different than every other mortgage broker. I cannot recommend them enough. Every realtor I've dealt with MortgageCS has said the same thing. They're sort of blown away. By the way, not just buying a home, refinancing. So if your interest rate starts with a 7, it should probably be a 6, or depending where you are in your mortgage, it could even be a 5. Don't wait. Now is a good time. So if your mortgage rate is in the 7s, call or text MortgageCS right now to figure out what your options are. And right now, if you're a first-time home buyer, fall is a pretty good time. Sellers tend to get very desperate, it's the wrong word, but start to get itchy around now because the holidays are coming and they don't want to be showing people homes in the holidays. So October, early November could be good spots for you. MortgageCS is your partner for this. Call or text Ben at any point, like Mark did, 267-391-7425. Don't feel bad about sending him a text early in the morning. It's fine. 267-391-7425, or go to mortgagecs.com/Ricky. If you don't believe me, look at Google. Tons and tons and tons of 5-star reviews. This advertisement is not a commitment to lend or extend credit. MortgageCS is an equal housing opportunity mortgage broker. All loans are subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions may apply. Company NMLS 1464766. Visit mortgagecs.com/Ricky for more information. Let me ask you an Adem Bona question, if you don't mind, if you're done with Edgecombe. We done with Edgecombe at the moment? Yeah. Is he maybe a little too small to be the backup center? He has sort of the same body as Paul Reed, I think. I wonder if Paul Reed was maybe a little bit stronger. And when I see him going up against Mitchell Robinson, here's the concern I have as a backup center for him. I see him go against Mitchell Robinson. He is clearly not nearly strong enough, but also he doesn't seem to have the advantage of somebody who is smaller that would have, right? He doesn't shoot. I don't think he's particularly fleet of foot. I like him. I like him as a lob threat, but I sort of worry that the combination of maybe being a little small and the fucking foul stuff, which happened again today, could mean a lot more Drummond than I had hoped to see this year.
Yeah, I mean, he's also going to foul the shit out of people.
Yeah, I said, yeah, he was in foul trouble again today. So
he's definitely undersized, and you're going to struggle on the defensive glass with him, even though he has good effort and has a high motor, which I like. That's why like a rebounding for like Jabari or Barlow that has some size as well would be interesting. The way that he can be successful is just to be the fastest big from end to end. Just like want it more than anybody else, where he's just like constantly putting pressure on the other team because he is like sprinting full out from one side to the other.
Yeah.
But yeah, the motor is there. He had a couple blocks. He's useful around the rim. I could think he could do a better job of deterring rim attempts. Like when he's the last man back between like ball handler like Jalen Brunson and lob threat like Mitch. Like I would like him to be, his second year player, second round pick, but growing into someone that can, bait a ball handler into making a play that he is ready for. And it seems like he's not quite outsmarting players yet. And that's going to take time to get there. But yeah, I thought as far as Drummond goes, like he looked fine as a rebounder. He was maybe back to his normal self after last season, how bad he was with the toe and everything. He just really doesn't give you anything outside of it. He's got no more bounce as a roll man anymore.
You're not going to you're not going to talk about his corner threes.
Well, I am in a second, but and you just never want him like handling or making decisions with the ball at all. But yeah, I mean, like Drummond hit a corner three. He rimmed out another one and prematurely celebrated the one that missed.
Very Nick Young GIF energy.
Immediate, which is great. That's what you should be doing in the preseason. Have a blast. It would just be, once again, really nice for the Sixers to have a center who can shoot. And I've been asking this forever, for truly forever. And Jay Huff, who I talked about all the time, is going to probably start at center for the Pacers.
Yeah.
Sixers could have had him for free, didn't want him. And it's just like the offense would be so much more open if you had a center that could actually stretch the defense. Brook Lopez, Kelly Olynyk, Miles Turner. Like, obviously, the Miles is a little better than those guys at this point. But, like, try a center that can shoot, please God, anyone. And that's why it's somewhat frustrating. Like Jabari Walker, who has the rebounding ability to play center and the wingspan sometimes, if depending on the rest of the lineup with him. But it'd be nice if he was a more willing shooter. That's just what it's going to take to be useful. But they just, I'm tired of like limited centers. It feels like the Sixers have not, like if you had Mitchell Robinson, where you're just like, oh yeah, he's enormous. He's just going to catch every lob in the world and deflect everything.
Rebound. Yeah.
But he's like, obviously you don't want him shooting. Obviously his free throw, like within role player types, there's going to be some trade-off as to what you're missing. It feels like the Sixers have had just such narrow abilitied centers for so long outside of Joel.
Well, he has all the ability.
He has all of them. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the trade-off.
Yeah. I like Bona. I don't have anything against him. He's just like, and he's a decent foul shooter for his size. Maybe eventually an outside shot comes, but you would just like somebody who, Luke Cornett or something, who defenses are just like sprinting out because they're afraid of him having open shots, and it just opens it up for him. And the Sixers have just never had anyone like that.
One quick thing on Kelly Oubre.
Yeah.
Is two things. One, I love that Kelly Oubre may be evolving into he's just the hyper energy, offensive rebound, defense guy, that like the guy who who everybody worried about, me including, only wanted to shoot the ball, is now the dirty work, offensive rebound, defense, hustle guy. But also, man, nobody bricks a three like Kelly. I mean, nothing hits the rim and backboard really hard like a Kelly Oubre missed three. I mean, it's tough. That is one, when you're looking at Justin Edwards, when he misses, it kind of skips off the rim.
Sure.
Bounces off the rim, goes off the backboard, goes off. Kelly's just, like, it's either a swish or backboard and rim beware, because he's got a heavy shot, man. Very heavy.
Yeah, it comes in heavy for sure.
Yeah.
I like seeing Kelly out there. He's been nothing but professional on the court. Every time he's been out there, and I appreciate it. I love how he attacks the basket. Man,
also
Justin,
the best looking person I've ever seen in my life.
Great, incredible looking person.
Yeah.
Justin looks good, but the shots just like aren't falling at all. I think he hit one or two towards the end. We again don't have the box score because it's still in transit on mid-flight.
I'm pretty sure he hit one.
Yeah, I remember him hitting one. Yeah. But he always attacks the glass. He plays hard. He uses length on defense. He got stoned by Yabusele on a dunk attempt. I think he should be solid, but he's another guy that, like, if he's going to stay on the court, he's just not athletic enough unless he's hitting shots. And so he has to hit shots. It's pretty much simple as that. But I felt in these games, and you're missing McCain, you're missing Grimes, you're playing major minutes to Edgecombe.
Yep.
I felt like, you're missing Paul George, obviously. These games really showed, not only are they missing threes, but like these are not good shooters out there.
Right.
That they're playing. And so.
But they're missing three of their best shooters.
Right.
So.
Yes.
You have to. you have to hedge it with that, I think. Jared McCain's one of their best shooters. Paul George is one of their best shooters. Quentin Grimes is one of their best shooters. Joel is one of their best shooters, honestly.
Sure.
So
those are the issues. But around Joel, you're going to want shooters. And really, like...
Well, we did see some EG in game 1.
I don't trust him at all. I don't want him being out there remotely. But like, there's a lot of non-shooters on this team. Janai Broom, non-shooter. Watford is not a great three-point shooter. Drummond, Bona, Edgecombe he'll hit shots if he's open. Oubre, like there's just that's a lot of like real non-shooters for a team. Look, I'm happy that they went on this trip and nobody got hurt.
Yep.
I was really worried that someone was going to get hurt.
Thus far. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're coming home now, right?
Well, yeah, but
I guess there could have been an announcement or something. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But there's thus far no one hurt. When Edgecombe was out there for the second half, Maxey had already taken a seat. I was like, maybe just pull him. He's already shown enough. Like, let him just go home, please. But yeah, seemingly thus far have avoided disaster. Get back, get Grimes integrated. Maybe Joel will play a little bit. We'll see. It's they're not going to be a good team if they're missing 5 of their best players.
Right, that'll be tough for them. Did you see Paul George in the hot pink sleeveless T-shirt on the bench?
Yeah, I thought he looked good.
Yeah, sleeveless T-shirt feels a little informal to me, and a little informal to me.
Sure, yeah.
You
want him in a bow tie?
No. I think there's a world in between the two.
Probably.
The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is brought to you by Ethos Support. If your company doesn't have customer support that is good enough, Ethos Support can put a team together for you within 2 weeks. Go to ethossupport.com/Ricky or just text Blair at 240-593-2485. That is 240-593-2485. Talk for a minute about, I know Mike will groan, just sort of millennials and Gen Z, right? They have grown up in a world where they get response to what they want instantly. Old people like me, Gen X, you were used to, we'll mail it to you and you'll get it for 3 days. Not quite as impatient.
That's why you're so patient as a person.
Yes, for sure.
That famous patience.
Yeah, that describes me well. Mm-hmm. But people that have adjusted well to the way life is, if you had actually today, we'll say this. I'll use an instance of bad customer support. We have a new front door, so this isn't a problem with the door. It's a problem with the deadbolt. It's one of those ones with the keypad where you type in the numbers, and it got wet and it stopped working. So I went on the website to fill out the thing to get help. Do you know what it said response time is? 5 to 10 business days.
That's tough.
That doesn't work, right? That's not how people are. And how you treat your customers in that way is a reflection of how your customers think about you. So if your customer support is not getting back to people right away, whether it is phone, whether it is email, whether it is social media, whatever it is, you're doing it wrong. And Ethos Support can put together a team that can help change that. The other thing is, nowadays, we're so used to calling places, and whether it's AI or whether it's calling a button, pressing buttons to get your answer, everybody's pissed off about that. Ethos Support can help you have humans that can respond to people, which really makes people feel a lot better. When you call for customer support, you get an actual human. It's like a weight off your shoulders. Ethos Support can help you do that too. And they don't just put together customer support teams. Any sort of back of office team you need, data management, you name it, they can help you do it. Again, if your customer support isn't immediate, doesn't give you that genuine human connection, Ethos Support can help you do that. Again, go to ethossupport.com/Ricky or call or text Blair at 240-593-2485. That is Ethos Support. Brian Windhorst. Now, the thing he said about Edgecombe is less interesting to me on this one. The thing that is more interesting is at the very end, just their sort of sigh talking about the Sixers. So this is Brian Windhorst. It is Tim McMahon, and I forget who the other guy is, but I'm sure I'll see as soon as CJ puts it up there. Real quick minute.
I will tell you this, though, for Sixer fans. As I talked to some of the veterans that I know, there's a lot of excitement about VJ Edgecombe. We all know that athletically he is extremely gifted, and there has been a pleasant surprise so far in training camp and in the workouts leading up to it about how his shooting has looked, that his shooting has shown good improvement. Now, again, we're talking about the earliest of early days here. But Tyrese Maxey is fully healthy and fully energized. He was bouncing around. He was his typical self. And so if you've got anything to lean on, you can lean on the excitement of that young backcourt. Also, and I don't know why I'm saying this, but the Sixers are optimistic that they're going to have their team. I mean, I'm just reporting what they're saying.
Okay. That's enough.
Okay. All right. Let's go out to the Bay Area.
I just like that everyone is in the same exact mode. It is the same one we're in, hopeful, sure. But we'll believe it when we see it, sort of.
No, I think people are personally offended by the Sixers.
Yes, yeah.
And which I understand, and they don't have any right to be as offended as we do. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
But I do think I've said this like so many times, but I do think people assume that
you really got to do this?
Joel has played in every playoffs except for it's been one season that he's been fully out of it,
Except for the first 2 seasons where he was fully out of it.
Right, of course. Yeah. But since he's been an NBA player,
right,
that was what, six seasons in a row he played in the playoffs?
Yeah.
So it's not, and then there's one season off. I'm not saying I'm optimistic, but I think the way that I'm just sort of noticing that the way that people are acting, oh God, of course they're saying this. It's it's been one season that he hasn't been. And the season before that, when he did come and play and still drop 50 on the Knicks in the playoff series, when he was barely mobile at all, after the Kuminga falling on his leg. Prior to that, he was playing the best basketball of his life. So I don't know. Maybe it's probably nothing, but I think we can say it and they can, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yes. That seems like the right way to do it.
They're acting a little bit here the Sixers come to make us all upset. It's you don't even know what upset means.
Yeah, you can just ignore it when it's bad. We cannot. Now, speaking of that, we got tagged in this numerous times. And so a tweet goes out from Bleacher Report, and the image says, Panthers fans shut down podcast over team struggles. Yeah. It says Meow Mix, a popular Panthers podcast that started in 2019, is shutting down indefinitely due to the team's poor performance. Here is the message from the Meow Mix hosts, Steven.
Tough name. Let's be real.
And Jerry.
Tough name.
Hi all. Meow Mix, a Carolina Panthers podcast, is going on an indefinite hiatus. Stephen and Jerry have enjoyed bringing everyone our thoughts on the team since our first episode on July 30th, 2019.
Oh, wow. Must be tired.
In that time, we have dedicated several hours a week to the production of the podcast, be it watching film, outlining the show, recording, editing, and general planning. Wah, 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 wah. We've met some
one football game a week, by the way.
Yes, right. We've met some incredible people along the way and built a small but amazing community of Panthers fans who enjoy our, quote, 2 guys talking football in a bar style. Unfortunately, the last 3 seasons in particular,
they patented that style. Nobody else has thought of it.
Yeah. If only a sports podcast would be 2 guys.
Hang on a second. I think we have something brilliant. 2 guys talking, maybe they could be at a place where they would have a drink.
Yeah. You mean 2 guys talking sports? Yeah. Just like regular old fellas?
That seems crazy.
Unfortunately, the last 3 seasons in particular have been extremely difficult as Panthers fans, and creating the type of content we enjoy has not been as exciting or enjoyable. The amount of time on Sundays we spend away from our wives and young children has become difficult to justify. We would be watching the games regardless, but locking ourselves away for 6-7 hours on a Sunday just to watch and then discuss a 42-13 ass whipping has become more of a chore than anything else.
Sure. I do think it's notable that both of us don't have kids. That would change things probably.
Probably, yeah. We don't feel it's right to keep the podcast going unless we can continue to put out weekly episodes. And right now, neither of us wants to spend that amount of time talking about this organization. We do reserve the right to post an episode here and there, but we will not be uploading on a regular schedule for the remainder of the 2025 season. To be clear, we are not abandoning the Panthers or our fandom. We bleed black and blue and desperately want this team to be competitive. We just will be cheering the team on as fans for the rest of the season instead of as podcasters. Thank you all. Until next time, keep pounding.
Really funny.
Yeah. Well, look, if you don't like doing it, you should not do it. 100%. But
it's funny to do this before week 5.
Yes. Yeah.
It's week 4, man. There's been 4 games.
Well, let me tell you, somebody 13 years in, 12 years in on this. Just a note to the guys, Steve and Jerry, who sounded like two friends talking in a bar about football.
The Meow Boys.
The Meow Boys, the Meow Mix Boys. When the team sucks, that is when they need you the most.
I know.
Anybody can do a podcast about a good team. Anybody. And you know what? There's millions of podcasts for good teams. For bad teams like the Carolina Panthers, their suffering fans need you the most.
Yeah.
What I say is, screw your young children, your friends, your family. Screw them all. Do the podcast. Grow up.
Yeah, I mean, look, I respect taking the power back and saying, no,
we're not
you
doing
guys
this.
are too bad. I'm not doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I honestly wish that their statement was more hostile towards the Panthers.
Yes.
Them saying we still bleed for this team is a little bit come on, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we do the podcast as a punishment. I said this on Blue Sky, but it is. You think you can get rid of us?
No.
We'll get rid of you.
Yes. We'll get rid of the Sixers before the Sixers get rid of us.
Yeah.
Writes RickySanchez@gmail.com. We have so many fucking emails and AMAs that the Quentin Grimes saga got in the way of. There's one that has been sitting here for a while, and we'll hop back into the Sixers one, but this is an intramural basketball one that has been sitting in here, and I've been waiting to get to it. I never quite get to it.
Okay.
I
got my intramural basketball trophy right here.
There you go.
This is as a coach. This is as a coach.
Oh.
I play like this.
Oh, no. I always do it wrong.
You can mark it.
I know. Well, I can't. I could. Yes.
I coach basketball in Los Angeles. Coach Mike. Coach Mike. When she does this, do that. I ran a 1-2-1 zone. Coach my ass off.
Hi, Spike, Mike, and CJ. This comes from Vita and Brad. I've listened to the pod since 2020 when my then boyfriend and now husband were number 295 with LL. Ooh. Got me into it during the pandemic, specifically with the grotesque jigsaw bracket. You remember the Field of 64 jigsaws. Yeah. Non-basketball sort of question. We loved hearing about Mike's intramural basketball team because my husband was also on one when he lived in Philly. His team came together from a hodgepodge of connections, but it was a good basketball fit, including winning several championships, so they played together every week for 5 years. When my husband and his buddy were reminiscing about the team and the guys on the team, it felt like they knew almost no personal details about his teammates, despite having played with them for years.
Right.
So I had to ask, did you even know if these guys have siblings? To which both answered, nope, no idea. They have 0 siblings as far as we're concerned. No. So Mike, do you know if your intramural basketball teammates have siblings?
So I have a weekly pickup game on Sunday mornings. And then some of those guys I play in my men's rec league team together, for which we've won 2 championships. And then I'm in a co-ed league that I'm the, manager of or whatever. And so I assembled the team of friends. So I know more people in the co-ed, not all, but more. But as far as my men's rec league pickup and those guys, I do know almost nothing about them. And I think that is good. I think that is how it should be. I think it is you guys are basketball people. You know me in this. There's a guy, I've spent, a couple hours a week with them for... in this game, I'm probably 8 years or something like that. And I saw one of them in work clothes one time, and it was jarring. I don't want to see.
It's like seeing a teacher at the grocery store.
Yeah. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see what you look like on a regular basis. It's upsetting. We exist to each other only in this kind of court, only in this area. I think there's been a couple times when they've been like, hey, let's have a barbecue for somebody's birthday or something. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to ruin the good thing that we have at basketball with trying to bring other stuff into it. Like this is fine. This is all good and fine. I say hi to you. I hear like one fact once in a while, but like you're not asking. We're not trying to do too much. It's just like this is
all business.
This is business. We have this here. We don't need anything else.
Basketball question. Mike is out on Nick Sirianni coaching the Sixers. That was an old question.
Yes.
But if you could pick one coach ever in the history of any non-basketball sport to coach the Sixers right now, who would you choose?
I don't know. Someone whoever played basketball at a high level. Someone has to got to know a little bit about basketball.
I'm trying to think.
Can't just be grimacing and shouting on the sidelines, Nick.
P.S. Congrats to CJ on your engagement. I've attached a photo here from the 2023 Fly the Process in San Antonio. Spike, you told us to take selfies with CJ, so when we saw him at the bar, we asked if anybody had yet, and I am proud to say we were the first and maybe only to get a selfie with CJ. I know this is delayed, been meaning to send the non-basketball question this picture. Better late than never. So there you go.
Siege.
Do you remember them asking you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I think 2 people asked on that trip. So I don't know which one it was specifically.
That's a good trip.
We remember all your fans,
Antonio.
CJ. That's why you're so approachable and relatable.
Yeah, for sure.
And by the way, the Fly the Process again, New Orleans, rights to RickySanchez.com/fly. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is brought to you by Barker Therapeutic Dog Beds. Barker, a proud sponsor of the Rights to Ricky Sanchez Bark in the Park team, the top fundraiser, will get themselves a free Barker dog bed, also some toys from Jolly Pets as well. The Barker Therapeutic Dog Bed is simply the best dog bed on the market and the one that will keep your dog healthier and happier and feeling good longer, especially into their upper years. And it's not like you should just get the Barker dog bed if your dog is old. No. The earlier you get your dog on a Barker dog bed, the better off it is because it supports your dog's joints. So as your dog gets older, the joints are supported. Arthritis, the effects of arthritis maybe don't come on quite as strong, quite as early. We started Rebel on a Big Barker, I think when he's 3 or 4. He's 11 now. He still runs around like a fucking lunatic. Go to barkerbeds.com/Ricky. That is barkerbeds.com/Ricky. You learn all about the Barker dog beds. You learn all about the Penn Vet study that proves all the things I'm talking about reduction in joint stiffness, reduction in pain severity, all those sorts of things. And you get Process Pup patches and you get stickers. And then send us a picture of your dog on the bed. Make him a Process Pup officially. It is not just for big dogs, though that was when Eric started Big Barker years ago, which is now Barker. It was for his big dog Hank, and because he couldn't find a bed suitable. But now the beds are for all the dogs, for tiny ones, the Barker Jr. up to the giant dog, the XL Big Barker with headrest, no headrest, whatever you want. One for the crate, one for travel. barkerbeds.com/Ricky. 10-year warranty. The foam won't flatten or they will replace it for free. It is handmade in the USA. Barker dog beds. Wow. I'm going to skip the Maxey trade proposal. I don't feel like talking about a Maxey trade proposal at the moment.
I don't think the Rockets would have done it anyway.
Well, here's what it is. Might as well then. I forgot you're looking at it. Rights to RickySanchez@gmail.com. This is from Scott. Hi, Spike, Mike, and CJ. Here's a trade proposal that is probably more of a deadline move. Maxey to Houston. Sixers get Fred VanVleet, Amin Thompson. Phoenix's 2027 unprotected, and a Brooklyn 2027 swap, which means it's Houston's 2027 pick with the Brooklyn swap.
Yep.
No, I don't think I don't think Houston would do that.
No, they wouldn't. I think they...
Everyone seems to love Amin Thompson.
Amin Thompson is awesome.
Yeah.
He's an incredibly unique player, which is a weird thing to say about someone who's a twin who also plays in the NBA. But Amin he's unbelievable, dude. He's unbelievable. And I think that even if it might increase their championship equity this year if they did that trade, I think they're thinking more long term. And I think Thompson is just too interesting, and they certainly wouldn't throw in 2 picks with that.
Yeah.
But if they could, I wonder if it was like Maxey and think of somebody interesting or useful on the Sixers. I mean, it would maybe Grimes, but obviously they can't trade him. But if it was like, say, it could have been Maxey and Grimes for VanVleet and Thompson straight up, they
maybe
probably don't
Houston
do it.
thinks about it.
I
then.
think maybe they think about it if they're
Yeah.
because like Maxey would fit in so nicely there, but I don't think they do, man. I think that they are thinking long term with Thompson and Şengün and some other interesting young pieces there, and that's where they'll live.
And by the way, I've heard people suggest this before. You cannot trade a pick swap. You can trade your pick, which has a swap
Yeah.
attached to it, but you can't trade the rights to swap. They have agreed to swap with you, so that pick can go, and the swap rights come with the pick, but you cannot trade a swap.
That's right.
Non-basketball question. How many days in a row is too many to be wearing the same pair of pants?
In a row?
Yeah.
2 max.
No way. A pair of jeans? You throw a pair of jeans on every day of the week.
For sure, but you got to mix in another pair. I'm not saying you have to wash it each time, but like air it out a little bit. Give it a break.
I mean, I don't wear the same pair of jeans more than 2 days in a row. I've too many pairs of jeans, but I don't know. I don't think
I guess I'll give you, if you want me to get to 3, I'll get to 3, but like I do think like you have other
5.
pants.
5.
You have other if you wear the same pair of pants every day to work all week, I do think you as a coworker have a right to be like, "Hey man, got any more of them things?"
Well, you know what I'd say? How do you know I don't have more than one pair of the same pair of jeans?
Well, if you've spilled
Why are you looking
some
at
sort
my
of hot
why are you looking at
sauce
my
on the
pants
side.
like that?
I'm
Oh,
just
that
we're
makes it
sharing
more
a
identifiable?
workspace.
Yeah.
I would just be like, I think that you need to mix in another one. At least let me entertain the idea that you're washing it sometimes.
Okay. All right. Well, and washing jeans. I mean, you want to tell me, honestly, if you were to ask how many wears of jeans is appropriate for a wash, I would say 20 or 25.
That's high. I think
You don't want to
that's
be
too high.
washing jeans too much. You really don't.
I think
You really
that's too
don't.
high.
CJ looks like he's into this.
I think
Where
that's
is
simply too high.
what is your opinion?
I was gonna say like I have a pair of pants that says like on the inside recommending them like 8 to 10.
Yeah.
So 20 may be high, but like I would much rather go 20 wears without wash than like wash every use.
Yes.
But there's got to be a middle ground, CJ. Your pants are saying 8 to
Sure.
10. I'm closer to 8 to 10.
But if it's 8 to 10, would you rather do watch it every time or go 20 wears without washing?
20.
There's just
I think
got to
I'd go
be.
20.
This is the Quentin Grimes negotiation. There's just got to be a middle ground. There's got to be. Give me. I'd rather do 12 than.
Sure.
If I worked outside or if I walked in hot heat to work and my jeans were getting sweaty, that would be one thing. But the difference between them being on my legs and not being on my legs, there's a very small difference in that.
I gotta tell you, man.
Yeah.
Your butthole's right there.
It's
Your
covered.
your
I'm wearing
butthole's
underwear.
there. You're sitting on stuff during, if you're taking public transportation, if you're like eating at a restaurant, if you're doing other stuff with it. Like, I understand it's jeans, but I think people are going a little too far. Like, it's jeans. Nothing can happen to them. It is like there's still pants and your butthole's right there. And for some, your penis. Well, think about that. What about that?
It's my penis is always clean.
That's right. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know about that, I guess.
Yeah. You said that's right pretty quickly.
Why?
Yeah.
I guess I was anticipating what you were going to say, and then I was wrong.
I actually heard, somewhat related, we had a couple of callers into the show one day say that their thing is when people come into the house, they will not sit on furniture
Yeah,
in their
I
outside clothes.
I know these people, yeah.
Outside clothes people, that they have to get in and change their clothes
Yeah.
before they sit on the furniture.
Yeah, I know these people, yeah.
That sounded insane to me.
Well, I don't do it.
Yeah.
I will sit in the couch in jeans, but a lot of people are like, I get home, I take my outside clothes off right away. I get into comfy clothes. Alyssa's kind of like that. She likes the comfy clothes pretty quick. But
they're doing it for outside
cleanliness
dirt.
reasons, which I get. Like I'm for the most part, if we don't clean the house in a while, then I'll probably lose this. But like for the most part, it's like wear shoes off household.
Yes,
like
we are shoes off household as well. Yeah.
Leave it out.
Outside clothes on the bed.
Only if you had a really bad day.
Yes.
Really bad day, outside
Yeah.
clothes can be on the bed. But I think for the most part, if you had a really bad day, it's like, hey, take them things off.
Yeah, I would say no outside clothes on the bed, just because I just not because I have a problem with it, just because I wouldn't.
Yeah.
This came from Paul, writes to rickysanchez@gmail.com. He has a jigsaw second. The first is, does Embiid have smoker's arms? I need a ruling. He kind of does.
I need to take a look, but I'm not disputing it.
Yeah,
I'm not rejecting it out of hand.
Territory. And by the way, smokers' arms can't be when they're flexing. Of course, they're NBA players. When they flex or when they're lifting weights, it doesn't look like they have smokers' arms. But Embiid, when he's just standing there, it does look smokers' arms. I'm not even going to play the jigsaw music for this because it is such an intense jigsaw. We've had one similar to it before. I don't know if we've had this exact one. Jigsaw, twist on a classic. Ignore if you've already covered it.
This doesn't even deserve the music. That's so interesting. It's what a narrow window of it.
Well,
I'm reading it out loud, but it doesn't deserve the music.
Do you want me to play the music?
No. Now that
Okay.
I'm seeing it, I'd rather you just read it and get it over with.
Okay. Twist on a classic. Ignore if you've already covered it. Would you rather your partner have sex with you in your dad's body or with your dad in your body?
It's bleak. It's bleak across the board. Don't like it. Shouldn't be doing it, but it is brought to the table, even though it's a non-song.
Yeah.
I guess I'd rather it be my brain.
Yeah. I don't need my dad remembering that.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying? That's where I end up. I need it in my brain, not in his brain.
I don't want it in anybody's brain. Phil's released the lineup, and Bader is hitting 8th.
Okay. So I've been radicalized on this. Let me tell you why I'm okay with that.
Okay, let me just read it out. Turner, Schwarber, Harper, Bohm, Marsh, Real Muto, Kepler, Bader, Stott.
Okay, here's why. I give credit to Ryan Spader, who is a baseball numbers guy who basically radicalized me on what the Phillies lineup should be. But here's part of it. Since we are in the designated hitter era, we can't think about the bottom of the lineup just as the bottom of the lineup. The bottom of the lineup is the leadoff for the top of the lineup. So we have really good hitters at 1, 2. We have Trey Turner, we have Kyle Schwarber at 1 and 2. So we have to think about them as the game goes on as the 3 and 4 for the 8 and 9 hitters. So I want my 8 and 9 hitters to be able to get on base because I want those guys to be able to drive those guys in. I don't want Trey Turner and Kyle Schwarber repeatedly coming up with nobody on base. They're too meaningful, specifically Schwarber. So I would more think about putting my weaker hitters in that 6-7 range rather than in the 8-9 range because I have great hitters up at 1 and 2. So I like having Stott, a guy who can get on base at 9, and I like having Bader at 8.
I see that logic, and I think it's getting too cute, and I just want my better hitters to hit more. And so if you go, hey, it's the 9th inning, who's going to hit for the 5th time? Do you want it to be like JT or like Kemp replacing, Kepler or Marsh or Bader? I would rather it be Bader. I'd rather him get more at bats. I think there's I see where you're coming from, and I think it's just getting a little bit too cute.
Well, I'll send you some info on this. Really, it starts as a reason to not have Bryce Harper hitting third because third comes up with runners not on base more in the Phillies lineup than any other place in the lineup. I think that's probably because Schwarber is there at 2, and he hit so many home runs. So you're getting a lot of at-bats without men on base. But yeah. I hear what you're saying as far, but I would rather Bryce lead off. So
well then maybe you move Bader to 3 and move Harper to 4.
Bader 3, Harper 4, Schwarber. Oh yeah, so you would go Schwarber, Bader, Harper.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you don't have anybody hitting behind Harper.
Well, he's still Bohm, which is where he is right now.
Which is what he has now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would be okay with that. I think it'd be. Now it is fair to mention Bader did cool off pretty hard the last week and a half of the season.
Yeah, but so did JT for the last month.
Last month, yeah. All right, we'll go Phils.
Go Phils.
6:38 start tonight, and let's hope they beat the Dodgers, and that would mean a trip to Chicago or Milwaukee for me. But this is I think
too many things happening in fall, man. Too many things happening in fall.
Oh, well, October is fucking insane.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
This idea that everything, like, you can't schedule things in the summer because people are away. And it's
No, you
like,
can't
what
schedule
sort of
things-
like fucking Victorian era thing where people are going on holiday for 2 months are we living in?
Yeah.
Schedule more things in the summer.
Yes.
Movies, like, interesting Oscar
Yes.
movies in the summer. Fucking move up the WNBA season so we can get them more. Like, it should, like,
Well,
there's too many things happening.
Dude, I have tickets for 3 concerts this month. I don't know if I
And
can go
all
to
the
any of them.
all the concerts are always in the fall. It's insane.
Matt Quinn from Mount Joy. How about this? Scheduled a charity show at Underground Arts.
Disgusting.
I bought tickets. It's October.
Pathetic, Matt.
Well, it's October 13th. It's the night of an NLCS game. So what do I have? I bought the tickets,
There's
but
baseball playoffs, there's football, there's basketball starting. It's simply too many things. I got my co-ed rec league playoffs on Monday, so you'll be hearing about that. Alyssa storming the gates in the face of the ref with nary but a warning. See if we can win that championship for you. See if it's in the background next time we do a podcast. Although it would be during the week, so I guess I'd be at work.
yeah.
But maybe I bring it.
Well, go Phils.
Go Phils.
Go Phils. We will talk to you this week. Are you down with TTP?
Yeah. You know, lick face.